9 mistakes buyers are making right now in Marysville, Washington. Hey, it's Mike Novak from the Novak Real Estate team, part of Realtor. Today I want to share with you my top 9 mistakes I'm seeing buyers make commonly in Marysville, but also in all areas in Snohomish County. A lot of these challenges and mistakes and obstacles really apply to any market within Snohomish County. So Marysville is just one submarket that I've seen a lot of these show up at. But let's jump right into the 9 big mistakes. Buying a home can be super fun or it can be really stressful. The difference really comes down to your planning and your preparation. So if you avoid these 9 mistakes, you're gonna have a much smoother home buying process and journey and avoid all of that unnecessary stress. A much better experience. So number 1 mistake I see buyers make is they don't plan the move properly. They wait until the last minute and then they just randomly go look at a house and they decide to offer on that home. Starting the process by just touring houses is not the best way to buy a home. I want to shout this from the mountaintop because I see buyers make this mistake all the time and they've been making it for years. I've seen this tons of times, literally hundreds of times, where buyers think that touring houses is the start of the process. That is not the start of the process. The start of the process is planning and preparation. People, get that into your head if you're planning to make a move in the future. Buying a home is an enormous financial decision. It's not something you should just go wing it and shoot from the hip and go just randomly start touring a house without having prepared yourself properly. So that is the number 1 mistake that I see buyers make. They just boom, right to showing houses and they don't plan the move properly. The second big mistake, they don't sit down with their agent to really get a full-blown in-depth consultation on what it looks like to buy a house in the current market. Buying a home, the process changes and your strategies are going to change as well depending on what is happening in the market. You want to sit down and invest some time up front, and your agent should be willing to invest time in you as well for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and really walk you through the home buying process from start to finish. Make sure you know exactly what it's going to take to buy a home. Do a super deep dive into what's happening in the market and how that could affect you as a buyer, and then also really unpack what you need in a home. Like, what are the features you need to have in this property, and what are we really looking for before we start running around going to look for it? That's the planning part and the preparation part of buying a home that so many people miss. So 1 and 2 are really connected. Number 3, not getting pre-approved before you start touring homes. I see this mistake made all the time. You don't need to be pre-approved to meet with your agent, but right after you're done meeting with your agent, you should get pre-approved so you know exactly how much house you can afford, you know which loan program you're going to use, how much cash down you're going to need between your down payment and your closing costs. And for most of my clients, they care most about what's my payment going to be each and every month as well. You don't know this until you talk to a lender because it all varies on your own financial profile, how much money you make, what your credit score is, your credit history, all these different variables. So you have to talk to a lender and make sure you know what your options look like there. The last thing you want to do is go fall in love with a home that's $100,000 more than you're actually gonna be comfortable with on the monthly payment. You do not want to start your home search that way. So that's number 3. Number 4, not identifying and separating must-haves from nice-to-haves. Must-haves are non-negotiable features where if the home or the property doesn't have this feature, you would not be interested in it. And it's really important to focus this on your top 3 to 5 things. What are the hard stops where if the property doesn't have this, we're not gonna go look at it, we definitely wouldn't be interested in it. Separate from that is the nice to have list. Hey, if the property or the home has this feature, it's a bonus, it's a win, it's awesome. But if it doesn't have that, I'd still be interested in the house. An example of a nice to have could be maybe a fenced backyard is a nice to have for you. Maybe it's a must have, I don't know. But if it's a nice to have, you can maybe add a fenced backyard to it later. It's got the backyard, you just can add the fence, right? So that's how we separate things out on our team. That's how I coach my buyer clients to really get granular on what they're looking for. What are the must haves? Let's really focus on the top 3 to 5 most important things. And then what are the nice to haves? The icing on the top if we can find them. So really get clear on those 2 categories with your agent, okay? Number 5, not driving around the neighborhoods to personally see them, get a feel for them. Before you start looking at houses or during the home touring phase, you really should just drive around, get a feel for the different neighborhoods, the areas. If you're looking at Marysville, there's so many different little pockets and neighborhoods and communities you want to understand. There's west of the tracks, there's east of the tracks, there's up by Highway 9, there's up off 84th. Like, there's all these different communities and neighborhoods and subdivisions that you want to see and really understand where you want to be at. And from there, you can really target your search a lot more accurately. Number 6, not researching the schools if you have kids. A lot of my clients that have kids The school district quality is really important to them. The last thing you want to do is be searching in an area that feeds into a certain school district that doesn't meet your requirements for school ratings. So look at greatschools.org. You can see a lot of different school ratings in there. You can punch in an address and see which schools are assigned to that particular address. Really helpful for you if you've got kids and if school quality is an important variable to you. In Marysville, the schools vary from really good to not as good, and you need to know that if you've got kids and if that's an important thing for you when you're evaluating whether to buy a home and where to buy a home. So, number 7, not using facts and data to structure your offer. I see this mistake made all the time by buyers. They just shoot from the hip, like, hey, I like that house, let's offer $10,000 off. Sounds like a nice rounded number. That is not the way to get a deal on a house, guys. A much better approach is to look at data. Pull up comparable sales, homes that have sold recently within the last 90 days that are similar size, age, and condition, that are close in proximity to the home that you want to offer on. This is your agent's job to do this research for you. And this is very similar to what an appraiser is going to do to determine the value of a home. Once they've pulled those comparables, they can show you exactly what these homes were listed at, how much they sold for, and then give you some recommendations on how much to offer on this house. Other variables that should be looked at: how long has the home been on the market? What is the competition like for it? And if it's been on the market for a while, when's the last time they did a price reduction? If they just reduced the price, you know that seller's gonna be really dug in on their price for a little while, and they're going to want to test the market at that new price point before they start giving more dollars off. That is my guidance to you on pricing. Don't shoot from the hip. Rely on your agent to give you data to make an intelligent offer. Otherwise, people are just gonna think you're not serious when your offer is presented. They're just gonna blow off your offer. Number 8, I recommend not buying off a busy road. There's lots of busy roads in Marysville. 88th is one of them, 67th is another, State Ave is another one, of course, and then you've got Highway 9. There's lots of busy roads in Marysville. This is just a very succinct list of them, but I don't ever recommend to my clients to buy off a busy road. And the reason is it's really hard to resell that home in the future. We still have a very low inventory market right now. It's not that hard to sell a home that's off a busy road in the current climate, but if things change 5 or 10 years from now and you want to sell your home and there's 8 months of inventory available instead of 1 month of inventory, it can be really hard to sell your house, or you might not be able to sell it for how much you want to sell it for. So I would be very careful on buying a home that's off one of those major roads or that backs up to one as well. So watch out for that. It's a mistake I see buyers make all the time. If you loved it, living off a busy road, then hey, go for it. I don't want to hold you back from that. I just want to make sure you understand how it can affect your resale potential. Number 9, the final one, the 9th biggest mistake that I see buyers make when they buy in Marysville or other markets is they rush the process. They want to get into a home in like 4 weeks. That is not the best way to do this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, buying a home is often the biggest financial decision of our clients' lives up till right now. And this is a process that rewards planning and preparation. So take the time to understand the process that it's going to take to buy a home smoothly. Make sure you've got your ducks in a row. Make sure you've got a very specific game plan, how you're going to find this house, what you're looking for, and then go find it. And realize it may take you 2 days to find the right house. It may take you 2 months to find the right house. It's not really within your control. It's up to homes coming on the market that match what you're looking for. If you go for a long period of time and you don't see homes coming on that you like, then you have a mismatch between what your price limit is and what your must-haves are. Talk through that with your agent. But you should be seeing homes come on every week that you're interested in and that you want to get out and tour. But even as you tour those houses, it could take a while to find that right property, and you don't want to make a rushed decision. Take your time to find the right home. When you go into a home, you feel in your gut and your heart like this is the right house, and everyone feels that way. That's when you offer the home, not before. So those are my top 9 buyer mistakes I see buyers make in Marysville and also many other markets in Snohomish County. If you've got questions about these, feel free to reach out to me. There's some links below on how you can get in touch. Mike Novak from the Novak team.